Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Brewer's Minute. So this week, we have a pretty interesting and unique topic. I'm calling this video, Read the Whole Card, and I will explain what I mean by that in just a minute. So first, a quick reminder, then we'll jump right into it. If you enjoy Brewer's Minute and the other series here on the channel, it would be amazing of you if you could take a quick second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So anyway, read the whole card. What do I mean by that? And what I don't mean is kind of the way you always hear that, like reading is tech and etc, etc. We're not really talking about gameplay here. We're talking about deck building. And the idea of reading the whole card is read over a card, maybe even a card that you've seen a million times before, and really think about every aspect of that card and what it could do. So what brought this topic to mind for me was last week we had an instant deck tech that was featuring Proteus Staff. So if you're not familiar with Proteus Staff, it's basically a polymorph, or that's what I thought. It's polymorph, sure, whatever. Polymorph, I've seen it a million times. I could probably read you the text from it from memory without missing a word. It's a polymorph. That's what it is. However, if you really read Proteus Staff, it does more than that. So for 3 mana, you put a creature on the bottom of its owner's library. That creature's controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they hit a creature. The creature goes into play, and then the rest of those cards go on the bottom of the library in any order. So that's the part of the card that's always missed. The deck that we featured in the instant deck tech was using Proteus Staff not to get an Emrakul, but to stack their deck. They had 0 creatures in their deck. So whenever they activated Proteus Staff on one of their random tokens, they literally just got to stack their deck in any order they wanted. And that was the combo. So the point of this isn't that that combo is good. I mean, probably with Proteus Staff, it's still probably just better in like 99% of situations to just get an Emrakul, but the point is, that is a great example of reading an entire card and finding a use for text on the card that maybe isn't the intended use or the most common use. And the reason I think this is so important is because if you play Magic a lot and you build decks a lot, eventually you just kind of know the cards and you stop reading them. It's like if you drive the same way to school or work or whatever every day, eventually you don't notice all the stuff you're driving by because you've just done it so many times. Sure, like you kind of instinctively know it's there, and it's not like you don't know it, but you just don't see it anymore. You have just done it so many times, it's second nature, and it just kind of goes right past you in a blur. So the Proteus Staff for me was a good reminder to slow down, reread things that you think you know, because like I said, I think I could have quoted you the text on Proteus Staff and I still wouldn't have seen it. I still wouldn't have seen that you could use it to stack your deck. So slow down, go back over some of the cards that maybe you've seen a million times before, really think about what they can do, and you'll probably find some really, really cool things. Like another great example of this is Gifts Ungiven, and this is one that kind of shows up in competitive scenes, and the trick is kind of known now, but when you read over Gifts Ungiven, and I know this because all the time when people see this for the first time, they say, that's not right, that's not fair. But the fact that you can just search for 2 things and put them in your graveyard 100% of the time, that's not really all that intuitive. And if you read over Gifts Ungiven at first glance, you don't really see that aspect of the card. You think, oh, I tutor for 4 things, I get 2 of them, it's like this weird factor fiction type effect, which I'm sure is what Gifts was intended to be. The design of that card was to be more like a weird factor fiction than a combo piece to put an Unburial Rites and a Grizzlebrand in your graveyard. But that's another great example of how really reading and thinking about cards that you already know and you might skip over on a daily basis because you've driven past them so many times can lead to some really cool and interesting results. So anyway, a short one this week. That's all I really wanted to say. I think it's important, just a quick reminder to slow down, read back over the cards, really think about them, and not just the primary function, but whatever whatever else that card can do too. So if you have some other examples of cards like Proteus Staff stacking the deck that can do really cool things that probably weren't their intended function or their primary function, make sure to let me know, because I think it's just such a cool topic. It's really sweet to find ways of abusing and using cards that might not be the most common or intended way of doing it. So if you have some more ideas of those type of cards and combos, let me know in the comments. Anyway, take some time, slow down, read over those cards, see what cool things you'll find. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.